5 postcards, all with different pictures on the front. One showing a monument, another an outdoor park, and the remainder are kind of portrait based. So just a random mix. Now what I want to do is turn each of them over one by one. We'll read the message on the back, and then we'll have a chat about their uniqueness and why these are particularly interesting. Alright, I want to start with the monument card first, which shows this preaching cross in the village of Ashelworth in Gloucestershire, which is still there today and dates back to the 14th century. When we turn it over, the stamp is an Edward VII halfpenny. We can see the year is 1907, 3 years before the King's death, and it has a Gloucester postmark. It's addressed to, I think, Colonel A.H. Calvert, Foscombe, near Gloucester. If we turn it round, this is what it reads. Sample of new postcard, 1D each, or 6D per dozen, published by F. J. Brooke. Now let's go through the other postcards one by one. Now then, the image on this one is a slightly colorized version of the bandstand at Edgbaston Reservoir. There we go, let's turn it over. It's addressed to, I think, Miss L. Renshaw, 16 Blagden Street Park, Sheffield. And to read it, we have to turn it this way. And it says either Dear Louis or Dear Lovey, I don't know. Patience is a virtue. Ever heard of that? It's my fault I never seem to have any time. This reservoir is just like the sea. Sand and boats and yachts and everything. Went rowing on here once, but when it was my turn, I would not go anywhere near the middle. Love from Jenny. There we go. On to the next one. The front of this one shows a young lady holding a bunch of flowers, or might even just be some blossom, you know. Anyway, let's turn it over. Wow, that writing is tiny. It's addressed to Mr. W. Miller, 41 Copley Hill, is that? Copley Hill, Erdington. Anyway, let's turn it this way and try and read it. Dearest Will, can't get down until 6:30. Thanks awfully for pretty card. How do you like this? Am better now. Hope you are too. Love, Hannah. Well, this one shows a young mother looking down at her baby, or a baby, in a cot or crib. There's a little rhyme at the top there. It says, baby, such pretty hands and tiny feet. Was ever there a babe so sweet? Let's turn it over and see who it's addressed to. Miss Gwen Tailby, is that maybe? Rushton, the King George V stamp. At the top there, dated 24th of December 1914. Let's turn it around and have a read. Dear little mite, just to wish you a Merry Christmas, with love from Auntie and Uncle. And there it says Mr. and Mrs. Lingard. And finally, this postcard shows a young girl on the front there, childhood days at the top. Let's turn it over and around. It's addressed to, I don't know if you can make that out, Miss Bessie Walmsley, care of Mrs. Buchanan, 37 Livingston Terrace, Fleetwood. Right, let's attempt to read this. Dear Bessie, I am writing this postcard in the rain, going to Grange. It was very cold here yesterday, but it is lovely this morning. Hope you are all enjoying yourselves. With love to all, Tilda. We have a George V stamp dated August the 13th, 1912. And the postmark is Morecambe, Lancashire. So despite the postcards, pictures and the messages written on them, this video is actually about the stamps. Now during the Victorian times, the very readable postcard sometimes included a bonus secret message sent by the writer. And using this guide here, which is a sort of language of stamps key, we can see that a code was being used by positioning either a red or green coloured stamp at different angles on the card, which then meant something specific to the recipient, as they would also have a copy of this secret stamp code and would know what the positioning of the stamp meant. So let's go back to this first postcard with the preaching cross in the village of Ashelworth. Alright, we can see that the stamp is placed on its side so that Edward's face is looking straight down. Then, if we check the secret code, it's got to be the one near the top right, which says answer at once. Let's take a look at the stamp on the reservoir card next. Right, we can see the Edward stamp is at a slight angle facing back, I guess. So let's check the code, and according to that it says a kiss, which is probably the right response to the message. Up next we have the postcard with the young lady on the front. And if you remember, the message is from Hannah to Will, and the stamp, a George V this time, is positioned in such a way that it refers to a kiss from Hannah to Will. And you can see that she really means that kiss because the stamp is positioned at quite a tilt. The mother and baby postcard is next. This one is from the aunt and uncle to their niece and shows the stamp of George V tilted forward, which either meant come soon or I love you, according to the guide. And finally, we've got the Childhood's Days postcard to look at. Written by Tilda to Bessie, and the position of the stamp shows us that she sends her a kiss. With the exception to this particular stamp, which is placed on its side with Edward facing down, why might these secret messages have been sent like this? Well, back in the day, young couples were using this secret language of stamps to send messages to each other without their parents realizing what the stamp's position actually meant. I mean, you don't want your parents snooping on everything that you do. Also, there are examples of these stamps containing tiny messages written on the back of them. Obviously, I haven't bothered to try and soak these stamps off, I just kind of like them as they are. Anyway, I thought that was pretty damn interesting. I'm going to put a link to a video which covers this topic in way more detail than I have in the description box below, so check that out if you fancy it. Personally, I think this secret code makes these postcards that bit more awesome, and I might try and get a few more examples of these with the stamps positioned differently to the ones I already have. Let me know if you had already heard about this secret code, and if so, do you have any postcards with these tilted stamps? Alright, that's it for this one. If you've enjoyed the video, then please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Give it a big thumbs up and turn on that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching if you have, and until the next one, bye for now.